Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now, today I want to talk about the importance of hanging with like-minded people and avoid the ones who are bad behaving in Jamaica. Now, as a child growing up, we were all taught, I can safely say we were all taught education is the key to success, respect, focus, study. We were taught all of that. And upon understanding such fundamentals that education is the key to success, we would have grasped the importance of hard work, would have grasped the importance of studying, of working hard in whatever field that we decided to pursue. Now, the harsh reality is that everyone would not graduate from high school, though the government, the parents, and ourselves as students would love that all of us would not graduate. Another thing, all of us would not have CXCs or pass CXCs or get the opportunity to um, do CXCs based on our socioeconomic background, the parents' finance, that is, and many other things. And also the fact that many would not be able to continue their studies. And these are harsh reality that we will have to acknowledge. Don't have to accept, but we have to acknowledge. Now, upon understanding that these are the harsh reality and these are the possibilities, the negative possibilities of what happens while you are growing, while you are going to school throughout your teenage years, one would have understand that, okay, you can go back to school, you can get a skill, or you can try to apply yourself with seemingly a job that pays somewhat, whether it be a minimum wage, because you won't necessarily have the prerequisites, which is the qualification to the academic qualification in order to get the job that you really like. And so you would have to end up settling for a certain type of job. Now, upon settling with certain type of job, you can't necessarily make ends meet. You're still living at the parents' house, but you probably contribute to bill, utilities, and food for yourself and what have you. Now, going on now, upon doing that, you would understand that, listen, you're at a bump in the road. What other angle to take? Because you're here, there are things in life that you are going to want. If you're a girl, there are things in life that you're going to want as a guy for yourself, and so you want to move your life from point A to point B. And so you'll be faced with a lot of distraction. You'll be faced with a lot of influences. You would see a lot of your friends, whether still studying, you will see with a lot of your friends, doing well financially because they come by gains or they've gotten a well-paid job that is based on their prerequisites, or through networking, they were able to get lucky or fortunate and capitalize on an opportunity. And so you would feel like you're in a tunnel. You would feel like you are a failure, and these things do happen. However, what used to happen is that many persons would turn to illicit activities, that's illegal activities. That is, many persons would have gotten an opportunity from someone to get into a better field so that they can get a better paid job. Some others would decide to work and save their money so that they can apply a skill or go back to school and do CXCs and further their studies in order to be well paid and also contribute to nation building. Now, an opportunity have presented itself right now, which is TikTok. And TikTok has made its space available wherein persons can earn some money. You're basically on a live, persons are genuine enough to donate, whether you're entertaining them through jokes, you're entertaining them through games, you're entertaining them through gossip and all of these type of things. And with that being said, there are so many things that are coming into play, and it seems to be a distraction, a negative distraction, but it's leaving a bad cloud on the image of Jamaica. And many persons find this funny. We have so many other persons out there on TikTok. I will not have to name their names. They're rather loud, they're rather vulgar, they're argumentative, they're very quarrelsome. It seems as if they're smitten with some sort of madness or they're cursed to always come online and have an argument. They plan their squabbles, they plan their diatribes. Sometimes it's what should I say? It's planned, right? Another time it's off the bat. Another time it just comes up, I should say, and they just decide that they're going to go at it because it makes for money, it makes for you, the viewers, to want to contribute, to want to give them money and stuff like that. Now, how I say it, it sounds rather moist, it sounds rather mild, but I'm just giving you the mal version of what really take place. Oftentimes they're threatening each other, exposing each other business, private life, private parts on their body. Families are involved, children are also involved, and all these type of things. And when we look into it, we realize that a lot of these persons did not finish high school. A lot of them did not continue their studies. A lot of them do not have a skill. And many persons are just at loggerheads with what they really want out of life. And they just see a opportunity where they can get clout. And so they continue doing what they are doing. But for the most part, a lot of these persons do not have skills or do not have a proper education. And so they will live their life from hustling and doing all of that. However, with what they're doing is not contributing positively to the image that is of the Jamaican space. And so when they see a lot of persons giving them views, they're getting traction, they believe that, okay, it's beautiful, it's great and stuff like that. However, it's a negative reflection on the Jamaican space. We also see where in young children, a lot of them underage means that they are under the age of 18. They're not adult, they're minors. And a lot of them are on the internet. Below 16 years old, minor, that is. A lot of them are on the internet and they're starting the same trend of cursing out each other, talking about each other, private business involving family members and stuff like that. And you see wherein children are actually living what they have learned because the parents can't do it alone. The old saying is that it takes a village to raise a child. And there is truth to it because no parent is around their child 24/7. They have to go to school. They have to integrate with other kids. They have to socialize, all these type of things. They have to go and get an education. And so other persons who they pass on the way, including teachers, including dean of discipline, including guidance counselor, principals, fellow students, that is, they are persons who they will learn from. And so once they're not around the parent, all persons, I believe, have some sort of moral responsibility to help in teaching a child something positive, that is. Now, upon that being said, we have realized that I'm getting to somewhere. If you follow a pattern, I'm coming from what we were taught to what's actually happening. So we don't see the village raising the children anymore. Individuals and the parents are the only persons. And there are more reasons than one. I'm not going to get into the breakdown of it. There are more reasons than one. And so parents are left to raise the children by themselves, with themselves. And what is happening right now is that the cell phone is helping to raise a child. And they're going to look at what's amusing, what's appealing to them, not necessarily what is educational that they can learn something positive from. And what seems to be circulating oftentimes in the algorithm are negative things in when it comes to the TikTokers, when it comes to a lot of these people who are on social media and they're just saying all sorts of nasty things, all sorts of degrading things about each other, and they're celebrating and they're proud of it. And it creates a rather repugnant atmosphere for children to see something that is something as negative as that, as something that they should grasp, something that they should want to be a part of. And because of that, they seeing it all day, every day, it becomes practice. You understand? And practice becomes what? Custom. It becomes something like second nature. So they start thinking that it's okay to come on the internet and curse out and behave this type of way and stuff like that. Now, when I go back to my subject at hand, which is the importance of hanging with like-minded people and avoid bad behaving people in the culture, is that when you hang with like-minded people, you will be able to understand and respect each other. When you're hanging with like-minded people, people who are positive, people who were raised in disciplinary home, people who were raised with love, people who are raised with care, people who are raised with some sort of respectability when it comes to parent and child, when it comes to child and other children and stuff like that. When you teach them to hang with each other that are like that, they become a unison, and a unison becomes very great. You understand? And when it becomes great, then you create something that is called an impact. That's what you're going to create in the society. Because if one of you exists, it means 20 of you exist. And if 20 or 30 or 40 of you exist in one institution, then it's only going to grow from there. Other institution will copy alike. And what you will start to do is what? Look at what each other are doing on social media. You will copy whatever it is, because more than likely it's going to be something positive. So you will start look at what each other are doing on social media. You will copy and do the same thing because you're what? Following like-minded people. right? And so upon following like-minded people, you will have a positive outcome in the society. That's what's going to happen. Now, here lies a very profound case, the case of Damon Dash versus Jay-Z. Many persons like to run with it and say that a lot of billionaires did not go to college. A lot of them did not do this. They weren't educated, and yes, and today they're multi-billionaire, like Jay-Z, like the Rihanna, Beyonce, all these type of people. But what people forget is that these people hire college educated people. These people hire educated people in order for them to have what they have in life. 90% of the time, the persons who they hire who are educated are living a similar life. Might not be the same based on the fact that they're being paid and paid less than what the billionaire is actually earning. But they are living their life. They have a family. They're going on vacation just the same. They are doing their thing. They're gainfully employed. They are advising. Now, my question to the public is, if a lot of these billionaires and a lot of all these short callers and all these rich guys out there and women out there who did not have an education or they did not have a skill, but they come by gains, and that is something that for you to look up to, that's something for you to emulate. Let me ask you a question. Why are these rich and successful people, in quote, success in quote, why are these rich and successful people hiring educated people in order to advise them? Why do they hire a lawyer? Are they going to hire a lawyer who is on the street doing absolutely nothing, gambling like them? Or do they hire a lawyer that is from a learned institution, actually graduated from the school of law, or they actually graduated from an academia that taught law? Which one are they doing? So let's get that clear. They, no matter how uneducated or unskilled they actually are, when they come by a lot of riches, they are going to hire educated people in order to move them forward. You understand me? It's just like that movie called The Green Book, wherein it was a black man who wrote a book about all the places that was okay across the United States where black people could go. I remember him, the black doctor, hiring an Italian driver at the time. And there's a scene in the movie where the Italian was outside and he was gambling with some black guys while the doctor was performing for a group of white upper elite people. And the black guys were outside and they were gambling. And when he came out, he was pretty much upset with his driver, who was a white Italian. And the driver was like, "Why are you upset? They are just like you. They're black, they're cool," and stuff like that. And the doctor said to the Italian, "They do not know any better. You do. To whom much is given, much is expected." He was given an opportunity. He was unemployed and he was given an opportunity to drive for a doctor, a black successful doctor who is also a musician at the time in the antebellum South of the United States. Very racist. They did not like Italians either. But this black guy was being paid a lot of money to perform, and he was also a doctor. And so he was given a great opportunity to be his driver. He had no reason to be stepping back and gambling in the streets. And so the doctor showed him a picture that he could not see. He knew better because he's way past that. They don't, because they're still in the system. They're still dealing with their socioeconomic problems that they have dealing with. And so you have to understand, when there's some sort of elevation, you need to hang around like-minded people in order to progress. Another example is the Jay-Z and the Damon Dash, which I'm going to get to. Like I said, many persons have always said that Jay-Z was never a college-educated individual, neither was Rihanna. But Jay-Z hired Damon Dash. Sought Jay-Z. And Jay-Z used Damon Dash in order to get where he's going. Now, if we had reversed it, and Damon Dash, who is actually college-educated, had decided to invest in a fellow college-educated person, I'm thinking most likely Damon Dash should have remained successful today rather than in the gutter. See, what happened is a business deal gone bad. Jay-Z saw an opportunity who Damon Dash had decided to invest in and advance while being college educated. He invested in a talent. He went on. There was a business deal gone bad, and Jay-Z decided to run with the opportunity and left Damon Dash out there, and everything went downhill for him until today. He has admitted that he only had some $100,000, and it's actually friends and stuff like that that is actually helping him. While if he had took the time while being college educated to invest in someone who actually has some sort of education, like-minded individual, he would not have been in the quagmire that he's actually in right now. So this is what I'm saying, the importance of hanging with like-minded people. When you hang with like-minded people, it will most likely get better or create a positive result. I mean, these are mitigating factors that I'm speaking on. It's not a guessing. The outcome is most likely something positive rather than it is something negative. Of course, you're going to have advantages and disadvantages. We don't say no. That is obvious. It's called life. You understand, negative and positive do exist. The point I'm trying to make is that if you are going somewhere in life that is positive, you need not to be sitting down wasting your time watching a bunch of people idling and doing all sorts of crazy wild behavior, doing all sorts of foolery on the internet and distracting you and what have you procrastinating. You need to hang around with like-minded people, pool resources that can use to generate an income. If 10 individuals who just leave high school, graduate from somewhere, and they're about their life and they're about to get somewhere and they're goal-oriented people, they're most likely going to come up with something that will eventually become a success once there is dedication and honesty involved. More than likely, they're going to come up with something that is successful rather than a fiasco. And this is my point. The importance of hanging with like-minded people rather than sitting down and hanging around bad behaving individuals that are going absolutely nowhere than the next bench. You understand? I mean, you want to be around persons who are positive because, of course, it's going to help you. You understand me? It's harmless. It's innocuous. So those are the type of individuals that you actually want to be around and be in their space because they are going to be creative. They're going to have some ideas that you can capitalize on. You understand me? They're going to have some idea that you can capitalize on, and they have good judgment. All of these type of things come into play. They have the spirit of discernment on them for those who are religious studies or acumen. You understand? And so they will be able to make better decisions, quick decision, critical thinkers. You understand? Who can make a rational decision, who can reason accordingly. So we need a new generation that can revamp, rebuild, remake, rethought, regenerate, revive, refill, reform, research, rebuild. How many have I said? You understand me? That's what we need. We need a generation of like-minded, positive thinkers who are actually going somewhere. See, you have to beat out negative, because if you don't, it's going to encompass the entire society. And so, you know what's going to happen? It looks cool because you don't have to care because you're in the comfort of your home. You're doing well in your job. But guess what? You're going to get old one day if you don't die. And then the young snake is going to eat the older snake. They're not going to be compassionate to you in your old age. They're not going to be nice. They're going to be very, very cruel and wicked to the older generation because you help create a generation of vipers through staying silent, through ignoring, through believing that, okay, there's none that can be saved, so let's move on. There are some that can be saved, and we have to use our voice, guys. I mean, oftentimes you just want to lay back and go on your vacation and just enjoy your beautiful family and your life and make your money because you don't want to be bothered with people who have no interest. But you can't focus on those who have no interest. You have to focus on those who are goal-oriented, who are in the pit, who actually want to come out. And that's a point that I'm trying to make. So it's good to raise them and have them being like-minded, associating with each other, integrating with each other, that are progressive, that are positive, that can help be movers and shakers in this society. And that's all I'm trying to say. So thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day and may God bless you. Bye-bye.